Hey, you there. Yes, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today I have a beautiful 6v6 custom match on the most elegant Necroxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our players while Tith gets a first entry. We'll start with Team 1 up here to the northeast and ending with Team 2 down here in the southwest. Starting with the first player on Team 1 of Gingerbread Man. He is, of course, going first land as a Cybran in orange, the color orange. To the northwest, we have Gumbo going first land in Pac-Man yellow. Man, two foods so far, Gingerbread Man and Gumbo. I'm starting to get hungry over here. To the west, we have Jurok going first land as another Cybran in royal purple. And in royal blue, we have Nomander going first land as a Seraphim. One of the rare god air slots for Team 1, we have Tabor Naple. I want to say Apple because I see Apple, but it's not how you say that. Going first land in Stitch blue as a Cybran. And continuing on eastward, we have F. Odin. He is going first land, of course. Going UEF, and most likely second land as well in Batman Gray. On Team 1 side of things for racial makeup, we have 4 Cybran, 1 UEF, and 1 Seraphim. No Aeon Tech to speak of on this northeastern team. Let's go ahead and introduce Team 2 down here in the southwest, starting with the emerald green player of Green Submarine. He is actually going green for the first time in a while, I feel like, since I've casted him. He's going first land, second air as a UEF. Very sensible decision there. To the west, we have Zeratsu going first land in ruby red as a Seraphim. Continuing on westward, we have Tyrith going first. I think this I said going first land, second air in Imperial Gray as a Cybran. And last but not least, on the front line here for Team 2, we have Slater Noob going first land, second air, third land in Chevy Crimson as a Cybran. One of the rare god air slots for Team 2, we have Artifacts. He is going Cybran as well, going first land, most likely second air in Tropical Ocean Blue. And last but not least, for Team 2, down here in the corner of the map, we have Delhi. He is going first land as a UEF in Forest Green. Very sensible color and choice of faction as well. So for Team 2 side of things in racial makeup, we have 2 UEF, 3 Cybran, and 1 Seraphim. No Aeon at all for either team. So apologies for those Aeon fanatics that love to use Aurora and spam up those Galactic Colossus. They will not appear in this game. I do apologize, but of course, we have such a beautiful game. Hopefully you'll be able to put it past that sore spot. We have Green Submarine doing a distance build, while his opponent over here to the northeast is doing a transport. He's dropped 3 engineers off, getting a factory set up and running. Even has a bomber on the way. That won't deter the building of this facility, but kind of wishing Gumbo probably wishing that he had waited for that bomber. But the bomber will be en route to those engineers. The engineers do spread out a little bit. Good on Green Submarine spreading those out. He'll take out one of them. Still has some air coverage here from his teammates. Another bomber here for Team 1 out here from F. Odin. We have a pseudo ghetto gunship here with a couple of, I think those are hunters, if I remember correctly, on board. They're able to shoot from the seats of their transport. They will knock out Green Submarine from this upper plateau. We didn't even check on reclaim. There's some action going on. In terms of reclaim value, still about 11,500. I'd say about 12,000 to 13,000 for the total reclaim that was on the map at the beginning. So decent chunk of mass. And in terms of mass points, well, there's actually a decent group of them here. We have 4 up here on this upper plateau with additional mexes in the corner. We have a decent group of 3s here down this, I don't know, Middle Eastern lane, and Midwest and top lane. Of course, doing these kind of the substandard lanes that I have done for the couple of casts. Bombers still going and harassing the main base here for Green Submarine. Green Submarine will fall back, have to assist in reconstruction of this base. A lot of engineers have been killed off. The mexes are paused. They are trying to upgrade. One of them has upgraded to T2. They should be pumping out T1 anti-air to help assist in taking out this pressure here from Team 1. They're trying to just delay Team 2 from building up, and a decent group of Pigeons go down for Zeratu as well. Those bombers will finally be shot down. We can just I don't know, it says Slato Noob. Yeah, bruh. Just, we have, not Truth. What was, Trieth? I think that's how you say it. I think I finally got it right this time. It's just saying oh, this is going to suck kind of thing. And Slater Noob does make the comment that they could just restart or they could evacuate and then play another game, but doesn't look like Team 2 is really going in that direction for the most part. Trans says Nomander. Well, yeah, transport up here to the northwest, getting a intel and a factory down here for Slato Noob. The players are on point this game. Of course, the lowest rated player in the game is 1400 with the highest rated at 2100 for Slato Noob. So it's a lot of action-packed players here. We have Nomander, of course, at 2000, Trieth at 2000 as well, and of course a bunch of 1800s and 1600s as well. So a higher echelon of player here this game, and you can just tell by the massive amounts of aggression here on this southeastern side. The comm of Zeratu has pushed against Gumbo. He will now retreat, thinking that's probably not a good idea at this stage in the game, at least by himself. Combat still going down here in the middle between both teams, between Trieth and Jura. Jura being pushed, and actually due to the fact that he's rooted on the spot, these units here from Trieth will push forward to these T1 Mexes and continue on forward to Nomander's main base. We even have the comm of Tabernacle going, started to maybe go east, but decided he can't catch up to those units. There are units on a collision course with this small little band, but it does look like Trieth will try to push as far in as he can to do as much damage. That is definitely the best play there. Bunch of upgrades here. We obviously saw Jura going for T2. We have gun speed and range going down here for Trieth. Gun speed and range going down for Slater Noob. T2 going on the way for Artifacts. Gun speed and range going down here for Gumbo. Of course, all of those commanders are Cybran, so we're going to see a lot of Mantis. We're going to see a lot of Rhinos here soon. And, of course, those rocket bots. I forget what they're called off the top of my head. Somebody will build them, and I know they will, but I will see them, and I'll remember their name when that occurs. These Mantis still making their presence known here, taking out a bunch of Mexes. One of them did fall but was repaired, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, probably 8 Mexes. They are T1, so not a huge loss, but of course that's 16 mass a second, and the amount of time that they lose from generating that eco and from the time to build them. Definitely Team 2 made out like a bandit here, specific for Trieth, getting a nice little push, especially since they lost the southeastern peninsula. I wouldn't be surprised to see Green Submarine try to build up something here to try to attack back at this peninsula, but so far not really going his way. We have a decent-sized army for Zeratu pushing that front line against Gumbo. Gumbo is sorely outnumbered. He needs to retreat. There is an additional comm here from, I think that is, Gingerbread Man. So Gingerbread Man and Gumbo will deal with a lot of this FAM spam. There are a couple of... what's surprised is not really any... Oh, this is Zooey there. I was going to say there has to be some Zooeys in there. But the comms for Team 1 will not push forward. They will kind of hang back a little bit just to ensure that they don't overextend. Yeah, it's just Slater Noob just talking in chat about... So we can either win or we can quit anyway. So... Slater Noob of the opinion that they're already on the back foot, which, I mean, at 10 minutes, they're actually leading mass generation, so they're not actually on the back foot. Team 1 has a little more land, has better map control, at least in the southeastern side, but I wouldn't say they're far behind. Comm of Gumbo is pushing forward by himself with no assisting units. Definitely not a mistake he should continue to make, considering he can be caught unawares here fairly quickly. Units here from Jura will push forward and pretty much take over this upper peninsula, but of course it's the middle of the map, right next to Trieth's main base. Man, at some point I'm going to get that name right the first time when I say it. But to the west, there is some pushing, but not like it is going down in the south. Slater Noob is pushing forward against Nomander. Nomander getting assistance from Tabor Naple. Again, I think I say it right, and then I like second guess myself, and then I don't say it right, and then I say it right. What's up? My mate is not coming, says Slater Noob, so I'm alone. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Will Slater Noob just go in for the kill on Nomander? Well, his units are now targeting Nomander specifically, so let's see how this goes on. This might be a suicide, a murder-suicide situation going on. T2 units, these Yenzing have appeared for Nomander, but a lot of the units from Slater Noob are starting to dissipate quite quickly. We have T2 Renegade gunships on approach here, and Slater Noob control Ks goes, that is not worth my time. Nice gunships, nice snipe. And we're definitely worth it. Says Slater Noob takes out most of it, the gunships, for Tabor Naple, and this will drop the game from a 6v6 to a 6v5 in favor of the northern team of Team 1. And they've lost the highest rated player in the game of Slater Noob, so definitely a nice bag. Nice first kill for Team 1. Looks like Slater Noob saying I was suiciding anyway, but I'm going to take that as a compliment. Gave you all air, Tabor. My man, you had 2 guns. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't really in a better position. I don't know if he was just kind of done with the game, didn't like the start that he had, whatever the case may be. But nonetheless, the game will continue. That's how the game works. If someone dies, you just gotta make up for it and keep going. Stealth going on the way for Gumbo. There's another fight here to the west. More like a mop-up job here for the units from Nomander. Gun speed and range going down for Tabor Naple. Maybe he'll be more aggressive. It is 11 minutes, close to 12, so T3 should be completed for both teams here fairly quickly. Yep. We have Delhi has completed his T3 facility. T3 not being priority here for this player of artifacts, but he's close. What about here to the north? Well, T3 is almost done here for Tabor Naple, and T3 has been completed for F Odin. So Team 1 kind of will be in the lead for ASF production and presence for now, but that can always change. We know regulars of the channel and of course the community know a surprise Colossus or Nuke or whatever the case may be will turn the game on its heel. Even just 1,000 Zooey just running against the opponent, just like rushing the opponent, could flip the game on its heels. So that's why I love this game, because anything can, not anything, but pretty much anything can happen, and the game can change just like that. Nano Repair going on the way for Gingerbread Man. He has stealth as well. So I wonder if he's going to push even further forward. At 13 minutes, I don't think so. That's not necessarily a good idea, especially with a huge T1, T2 force here for Zeratu. T2 Ilshis and anti-air presence. There's no shields in here. Definitely missed opportunity there. But besides that, is building up some Utashalas and starting to PD creep as well. So, Team 1 looking vulnerable here, the eastern side. ASF fight going over here for some reason. I don't know why, but it looks like it will go the way of F Odin. F Odin now secures the air for his team for now. I mean, not by that many. ASF only has, like a handful or so, a squadron, if that. But not really a huge issue for Team 2, but that does allow Team 1 to be a little more aggressive with strap bombers or gunships or whatever the case may be. More units being deployed to the front line. There are NGs going for most likely reclaim. We have Trith is pushing forward, filling in that power vacuum that has occurred with the death of Slater Noob. He is, of course, the recipient of Slater Noob's base and is now operating at 180 mass per second. Decent chunk of mass. We'll see T3, of course, the T3 factory has been completed as a backup T2 in the works as well. Now he doesn't even have to finish upgrading that. So now he just has to build this one, which is super nice. And he's going to go for bricks first, skipping loyalists. So that is his goal here, to just go full T3 assault bot. Calm of Gumbo leading the charge against his opponent. A bunch of Zooey try to get a nice targeted, sight line with their arcs. But, of course, Calm is moving all the time. Utashalas are making it very difficult for Gumbo to push forward without any assistance. Units here for Gingerbread Man and Gumbo will push forward. Overcharges going into the Ilshis. That's definitely the target. Explosions going on here for the Thams. I didn't notice. These are the those are the suicide bots, the fire beetles. They've done a decent amount of work shoring up that initial front line. Gumbo will fall back once again, but it looks like a lot of those units were taken out here for Zeratu. For some reason, I didn't notice the fire beetles until like the last one was left. But the comm of Zeratu has actually transported over to the Upper Peninsula and is going to start building a nice production facility. If Team 1 doesn't notice, that will be a annoying thing to deal with. He's built up a T2 Utashala as well. So this peninsula is not all of that Team 1's for now. And even Gene Submarine has attempted to make inroads once again. Go T3 Air, says Delhi. Well, if you control T3 Air and you just pump out as many as you can, whether it be ASF gunships or whatever, you will not overrun your opponent, but definitely do a decent amount of work against it, especially if they're not expecting multiple players other than the two that should go T3 Air to go T3 Air. You got to change it up. You got to, surprise your opponent, because if they're not prepared, then that could be a kill or land grab or something. Forward momentum, at least. That is definitely what Team 2 needs right now. They're behind a player. Highest rated player is gone. They've lost air control. They have, a decent amount of ASFs in reserve, but, they're not exerting their power like they should. They could come over here. But Team 1, besides having that ASF force, isn't really doing a whole lot in the air anyways. Neither team is. They're not having a bunch of gunships, but it does look like there are some not those Corsairs built up here for artifacts. Maybe he's going in for a snipe of some sort. But interceptors will now know that these Corsairs are, starting to stack up. They have T3 air players, says Delhi. Corsair those, says Trieth. Trieth again. Man, it's just it's the THs like on the end of the Y. It just makes the name hard to say. Base wars going on the western side here for Nomander and Taper Naple. Pushing out a bunch of missiles here. There is a couple of... I thought I saw TMD, but there's one back here. There's a Zapper. But they're just taking out a couple of Team 1 AA guns. Not really worth worrying about. On the eastern side, same thing happening, but in reverse. We have Zeratu pushing with some missile launchers, but... and there's not really a whole lot going on this eastern side. It is on the peninsula now. The comm of Gingerbread Man has transferred over as well. Looks like teams for this game will try to focus on this eastern peninsula. Not really a whole lot of land, not really a whole lot of mexes, but a decent amount of land. Ilshis being brought forth. This will help. The gunship goes down, but the Ilshis get landed just soon enough. Fire Beetles trying to do what they can. They actually EMP some of those Ilshis and actually will kill off the comm by Fire Beetle. That is something I haven't seen, I think, ever. The comm dying to Fire Beetles. Usually I saw that one game where there was like 300 of them. But not death by Fire Beetles. So Gingerbread Man will score another kill for Team 1, dropping this game to a 6v4. And if you like that kill, or think you could have done, the players about to should have done something else, let me know down in the comments. And of course, if you haven't hit that red button below the video, the subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate a subscribe. And so let's get on back to the action. Gingerbread Man is going to now knock off Green Submarine from this western side of the plateau. T2PD trying to be used to stop the incoming comm. There's only one triad there, so it's not going to do a whole lot. Gingerbread Man will try to do his best to just take as little damage as possible. Maybe one more triad will be finished off, but it won't be that many. And it does look like there is a fire base starting to form on this peninsula. Team 2's play of Green Submarine is starting to claim these southern mexes, though, so they do have access to the plateau, but it's not a whole lot. A couple of Zooey from Triath is actually over here, but and a couple of these Mech Marines as well, but I don't think that's going to really go anywhere, honestly. First factory fell. The second one will fall here pretty soon. 2 Triads were built. The third one is stopped. He knows that it's not really fruitful anymore. Comm of Gingerbread Man has 3 ranks in vet and starting to, you know, survive a lot of hits. This factory is still not dead, but he's prioritizing the PD first, trying to, you know, stave off any incoming damage, and we'll finish those off. To the west, still really nothing happening. More missiles being fired at one another. A lot of AA here, a lot of mobile you know, bangers and a couple of bricks as well. So Triath is trying to halt any aggression in terms of gunships, but it's not really going anywhere. Neither team really wanting to make the first move. ASF production is starting to be a big thing here for Team 1 and Team 2. Green Submarine, actually not Green Submarine, the other Green Pillar of Delhi is at 53, while the comm of F. Odin has 52. Wait. Yeah, 52. Wow, so pretty much tied up in the ASF games for both teams. How will that shake up? There's a lot more AA being built here for Team 2 than Team 1. Team 1 has a couple of bangers here to the east, but Team 2's player of Triath is building the bouncers, the T3 versions, and those pack a lot of damage. So I wouldn't be surprised to see those be used aggressively. 1 solitary brick will take out an Intel installation. Nice TML snipe. Okay, you don't have to like name call. See, you can be, you know, cordial, like nice try or whatever the case may be. But I don't know where he was aiming at. F. Odin says hi, you know, smiles or whatever. I don't see. Oh, over here. But it wasn't even him that was going for it. It was Tabernacle. A couple of bricks do get up here, take out a mechs and a facility, but these missiles will stay online. Yeah, they may not do a whole lot now that the comm of Triath is just, I think he's just walking around in a circle. Or it just, you know, trying to not stay in one place. But, yeah, you see the missile inbound. We'll take out another. Oh, almost took out that T2 mass extractor. There is 1 zapper, 2 zappers, and now a 3rd zapper will come online. So, mass sniping is going on here for Tabernacle, trying to reduce Team 2's eco. And now Team 1 is in the lead of eco. With 1.6 thousand mass per second they're generating versus 1.4 for Team 2. Team 1 now at 800,000 mass total accrued over the course of this game. We're at 22 minutes. We're almost about to crest a million. Probably about, say, 25 minutes or so. We'll probably see a million from one of these teams. Most likely Team 1. Team 2, it's going to take a little bit more. But 1.7 thousand mass a second, you can probably get to a million by the end of the that 25-minute mark. Let the reclaim come to us as Jura. So Jura being the more defensible player here, he's just letting the enemy attack them, have the mass fall on their side of the map, and then they claim it versus they attack. And that's the downside with attacking, is if you don't attack and hold what you gained, you're just dropping mass, especially a lot of mass, depending on how many forces you commit. And the monkey is just going to sit in this little valley area, and it will maybe charge that forward position for Jura. I don't think it will, though, at least alone. I feel like alone it's kind of not worth it. There is not a lot in defenses, but Team 1 can easily pull out their own experimental. They have their own monkey. Yeah, definitely not worth charging on its own. We have a group of forces here from Triath pushing forward on these Cerberus and bricks. There's more bricks and more units here for Team 2, but the PD is starting to take their toll. It's weird for me to say that it is Cerberus, but you know, any damage is better than no damage. Mantis, you need to get a little bit closer to those bricks to be in range. Almost all the bricks now are gone, and there are some rhinos in the mix as well, offering the tankiness of 1900 hit points, but they're T2, so they're cheaper. Bricks, of course, at 7500 hit points a pop. Lots of hit points for Team 1 to chew through. And now, since those bricks are gone, it does look like That fade was used to pull the bricks out of position and then push forward on these Cerberus turrets. There's not really a whole lot here to push. It's just a front line in the middle. To the west, we had that monkey attack the other monkey here. A couple of PD were taken out, but now it's just Team 1 units here, and this monkey lord will easily zap the rest of those up. I don't know if it was more beneficial to have the monkey over here. Probably would have been over here. Would have been more beneficial. The shield has now fallen around those Cerberus. They're going to attack the generator at some point, but they're going after the PD first. There's an artillery that landed somewhere. Oh, there's a missile. I think that's what it was. But it's starting to not look good. This attack that once looked very promising after dealing with the early bricks now pretty much might reside, especially with the gunships coming in to assist. There's one bouncer left remaining. Not a lot of AA to deal with them. And it's going to go to the way of Team 1. That's a lot of mass. How much mass is currently here? Yeah, my counter will zoom in. 22,000. Decent chunk of mass. That's as much as any team needs to build a monkey. So definitely worth grabbing that mass for both teams. Especially with all the Cyberns in this game. You want monkey lords, you want crabs. Bugs, not so much, just considering how much ASF presence for both teams. And of course the all-important Scathis, but another monkey was defeated here for Team 2. Team 1 pushing with the chicken now. The monkey and the chicken making nice friends. Pushing forward on that little little, what is it, valley, I called it. Yeah, little, ditch, valley, whatever we want to call it. And I feel like these two experimentals could push to the west. The monkey could probably fall back while the chicken pushes the western side. That would be my vote, but there are a decent amount of gunships and they're broadsword as well, so very heavy. Lots of damage coming off of those gunships, and they will kill off the monkey lord. ASF entanglement here in the middle between both teams. It does look like Team 2 has the numbers, and now this will give Team 2 a huge advantage. They didn't have ASF or air dominance earlier, but now they do severely, and now they'll be able to push a lot more strat bombers and gunships on their enemy. A crab here to the east going after a chicken. We have some strat bombers. What are they going after? I don't know what they're going after. They're going after... Oh, yeah, that's Team 1's. What are they going after? I don't know. Where were they going? I don't know where they were going. But the crab's starting to be surrounded. It needs to still target the chicken. If the chicken gets in close, that's not game over. But even if the chicken dies, it will be game over for the crab. Corsairs come over to the top, help deal with the chicken's hit points. Will it be enough? It will. The crab will start to slowly walk away. Unfortunately, that crab might get out of there. It's gonna be a lot of damage though. And you can just see it just constantly hitting that crab for thousands of hit points of damage. That transport getting out of there. There's some AA going after it. Jura commits suicide. Seppuku looks like he had... Usually when players even like to pause to see what was going on. How many snipes does the man have? 1,000 Sarah shields. No conversation about Jura. Maybe he just had to go. Maybe his dog or animal was, having an issue or something. Who knows? But will these strat bombers feel the wrath? No, they'll get a little bit singed. But Jura will leave. This game will now drop to a 5v4. Team 1 has lost their first player at 27 minutes. The chicken has been defeated, most likely by those gunships, and now the bricks and bouncers will push forward. Bouncers should wait behind the bricks, but it's sometimes hard to coordinate troop movements in that tight of a space. This western firebase here is not really a firebase anymore. It's more of like a main base for Nomander, constantly building shields and sniper bots. I think there was a conversation about how many sniper bots that man has. How many sniper bots does the man have? 1,000 Sarah shields. Oh, looks like Nomander says 12. But that's starting to be probably an annoyance here for Team 2. Not probably, is an annoyance. Artillery and missiles, it looks like, on this western side. Oh, I saw a missile. I thought I saw artillery too. PD. Yeah, I guess they're just missiles. Nothing. Nope. Guess not. Missiles and... Oh, that's over here. Artillery being thrown at one another in the west. Not really going to go either way. There's not really firebasing going on in terms of shields. It's more just structures that are there.
Strategic launch
And, of course, the Cybern shields. But we have a Nuke in the backline. A bunch of engineers. A bunch of engineers for the player of Artifacts. That is a lot of engineers. And it is going for that main base for Nomad. They're going to crack that western side. Units in from Triath with not an experimental on the way, but, we're pushing forward a little bit. We'll take out that base. There is no SMD here. The gunships, maybe they'll be singed off. Who knows? Kaboom. They actually take out most of those gunships as well. A huge power vacuum has opened up for both teams. What will Team 2 do? Will they push forward or hold back? Looks like the command has been given to push forward. There's still a couple of defending units. They are sniper bots, so they are very weak up close. Rascom starting to make their appearance here for Nomando, trying to scale his eco up. F. Odin has built a decent contingent of ASFs once again, but the comm of Gingerbread Man is under fire from a bunch of gunships. The ASF from F. Odin have to do something, or the comm of Gingerbread Man will go down, but he'll go down anyways to these gunships. Now the game is tied up at 4v4. Team 2 has clawed their way back to an even game, and there are 2 crabs and a monkey versus 2 chickens. And it does look like the 2 chickens will at least get 1 kill. Looks like they're going after the monkey first. The monkey walks in, can't get away in time, will fall to the second chicken. The 2 crabs now focus on the chicken, and the second chicken will fall, and now it's open season for these gunships. ASFs coming over the top to attack the ASFs, it looks like, but I think there's still too many for F. Odin to deal with, and this will claim another air victory here for Team 2. Maybe I was wrong. Looks like F. Odin will claim victory over those enemy ASFs. Now the gunships will be dealt with summarily. All fire has to be focused on 1 crab. And assistance here from Tabernacle as well will help deal with the gunships as well. Team 2 has once again, like I was mentioning earlier, pushed forward. A crab is starting to deal with these Rascoms that are just idle sitting there. A crab here from Nomad will fall back. I don't know why. I feel like you could push it forward. There are strap bombers here as well. There's just been strap bombers flying all over the place, and I don't know why. But F. Odin pushing the air advantage. He may try to look for an airlock, but there's just too much AA pressure and needs to fall back. It is not worth using your ASF over that. They need to worry about that nuke. Team 1, have they built SMD? Yep, there's 1 here for Nomander, there's 1 here for Tabernacle, and there is not 1 here to the east for F. Odin. I don't see any over here. Maybe they're just building crabs and monkeys, but I don't see. No, there's 1 back here for Gumbo, but looks like an explosion goes off. Artifacts teleports in. He telemasered fairly early, 31 minutes, and will kill off F. Odin. Gumbo on approach. Gumbo, where are you going? Are you gonna? Oh, what is happening? What is happening? Gumbo will teleport in. He has the laser. They will fire at one another. It is a... Wow, it's a trade. Gumbo came in and dealt with the comm of Artifacts. Now it's a 3v3 once again. I wasn't able to catch the first one, but I caught the second one. That was very ballsy from Gumbo. He's like, I can go in and take out Artifacts, or I can just let him escape. That was impressive. Props to Gumbo for having those, titanium balls of... I was going to say titanium balls of steel, but those titanium balls, jeez. I don't know if I could have done that or would have done that, but good for him. There are some... looks like the teleport happened earlier. Yes, maybe, I don't know. He died over here, but some of the... okay. If there's a Novax, that's why. I'm like, why? That doesn't make sense. He would teleport over here, kill the comm, and take stuff out over here. That doesn't make sense, but there is a Novax built here for Delhi. Delhi now having both the air facilities, so a lot of mass for him to be able to funnel into his various projects. Nomender at 1K mass a second himself. Team 1 still winning the mass game by 500 mass a second. They've crossed not only the 1 million mass, but the 2 million mass total accrued. And another nuke launches for Delhi. Where is this one going? Well, based on trajectories, it's going for that front base here for Nomander. That one's less worth it, honestly. But it does look like there are SMD, and one of them is loaded. Another one is loaded. That's pretty much the only thing that Nuke could hit. And the comm of Gumbo is on the move once again. Where is he going? He's going further to the front line. Kaboom! The Nuke will land and take out that forward facility. I guess there's 4 mechs there, so I guess it is worth holding. But tons of missiles going after this artillery battery. Takes out 2 of those Gunthers. The second volley comes in, takes out the third Gunter. More and more monkeys and crabs are trying to push that front line of Team 1. And Team 2 really doesn't have any opposition here. They have 1 crab versus a bunch of shields. That's really about it versus 2 crabs and a monkey that's... Oh, I thought the monkey finished. Where'd the monkey go? Maybe that was the crab. There's the crab. Lots of pausing going on. Don't know what that's about. But we don't have to wait for the game to be on paused because this is a replay, so that's always nice. Man, lots of craziness has happened so far. 33 minutes in. Any other craziness going on? Any game enders that players that's got to be on their minds at this point, especially this high-rated amount of players? Novak's the only one built so far. Nuke, of course, still being prioritized. Lots of BP build power being honed in on producing those missiles. Starting to be less and less effective, though, with the advancement of these SMDs. I think the only good nuke to use would probably be this group of mechs or this front line, one of the two. Pretty much everything else is under SMD coverage. And even this is under shield coverage, SMD coverage now. Team 1 has pushed back Green Submarine out of this bot lane and pretty much pushed them off this southeastern peninsula as well. Plateau as well, not peninsula. We have a nice little formation here. These kind of little, backward seas that the Green Peninsulas were standing in. There's a lot of T2 air coverage. I do like that. They're focusing on flak versus AS. So they're targeting more the gunships than they're targeting the ASF. That's pretty much what that tells me here for T2. T2 is good for gunships. T3 is good for ASFs, not SAMs, strap bombers. That kind of the higher flying and faster moving targets. But another explosion. I see the camera shake a little bit. To the west, a crab does fall. There is a monkey here for Nomander. The next nuke will launch. Where is it going? It's going for that backline mexes that I mentioned earlier. It will land, but that'll be the last target that really is worth nuking. Gumbo is on approach to the front line. Oh, no, he's going to fall back. Nope. He's like, that's probably not a good idea. Lots of ASF nearby. Had those ASF been aware of that, they would have gone after the comm. There are a couple of Corsairs in the area, but that comm of Gumbo will drop. These Corsairs will be dealt with. The last crab does fall. Team 1 makes it ahead. And the nuke that landed again on those mexes clips Gumbo, and Gumbo says no. He had such a good move and toe, and Deli's like, huh? He's probably thinking, what? How did I get Gumbo? He's over here. But man, that was interesting there. Is this looks like it is a full share, I thought, not a partial share, but 5 chickens versus 3 crabs. That is going to go the crab's way, especially if those chickens get fairly close to the crabs when they die. 1 chicken will fall. These crabs were badly bruised and broken though, so it was really only going to go one way. But now this game drops to a 3v2 in Team 2's favor now. Oh man, Gumbo, I feel bad for you, man. That was, you dropped your comm, you're probably going to help assist with your laser, and then you get clipped by the nuke. It's ouch. That's all I have to say is ouch. But to the west here, units pushing through the center line while the eastern line gets pushed back. The northern line, the top line, gets pushed back once again. So it's like Team 2 is making inroads in the south, but as they do, they're losing the north and some of the middle. But now it's just blue team versus green team. Pretty much, there's it's gray in there as well, so it's pretty much blue team versus green team, I'm going to call it. And there is a lot of stuff still going on. 37 minutes. It's still not over yet. Either team not in a perfect position to win. Another Novak's being built here for Delhi. He's also surrounding himself with telemazer defense. Of course, lots of Cyberns in this game. You're going to need that. Only one player has died to telemazer. And it was actually fairly early on, considering. Usually that happens at like the 50, 45 minute mark. But 25 or so was pretty early. These 4 crabs now. One of them did die. They killed off those other 2 chickens. We'll push this forward production line for Nomander. Nomander trying to build as many defenses as he can, but I don't think it's going to work out for him. There's also Othams in there as well, so even if they take out the chickens, there's still a huge presence of T3 tanks to deal with. Team 1, they haven't put together any sort of plan to win the game. I don't see any, Mavers or Scathis or Yolana Oz. Oh, okay. Well, I say that, and then it just magically appears in front of my face, just to be like, "See, you should be paying attention more. What are you doing?" And get slapped upside the head, kind of thing. But that YOLO that we saw earlier is, in the yellow, so it's still got some way to go. But this eastern side will fall. The air grid for Tabor Naples will fall. And this eastern side will be claimed by Team 2. There is still a presence for Team 1 up here on this plateau. So it's not, smooth sailing yet for Team 2. But they are making a good go of it. They're about to split the map in half horizontally when it was on this kind of diagonal axis. Axis, not axis, whatever I said. I don't even know what I said. But crab pushing forward against a bunch of bricks. I mean, there isn't enough bricks to deal with this crab. But if the bricks get in behind the crab and start making it constantly turn, it might actually favor them here soon. But that takes a lot of micro to deal with, so maybe it won't happen. But the crabs here to the west are unprotected. There's a couple of lightning tanks, but there's a ton of gunships here. The first one falls. The second one is already in the red. There's only a few lightning tanks doing what they can. Renegades, actually not renegades, whalers and broadswords. So 2 groups of the T3 heavy gunship variety. The restorers aren't here, so the best T3 gunship in the game. So, that's Team 2 probably would be using them if they had access to them, but they don't, because no one has access to AO in this game. Use says artifacts. Oh, the satellite's not moving. So definitely need to keep aware of what the satellite is doing, because it's, you might as well use it because you have it. But the main base here from Gumbo is now under threat. It was Gumbo's. Now it's, who's it? Nomanders? Nomanders. 1 chicken will fall. There's still 3 more chickens alive. Gunships trying to stave off any incoming attack. There's 1 chicken that's almost dead as well. The 2nd chicken falls. The 3rd chicken will fall here shortly. And the 4th chicken is almost dead as well. So all these chickens were pretty much close to death anyways. A couple of lightning tanks will deal with a decent amount of these gunships. Now they'll target the lightning tanks now that the ground threat is pretty much dealt with. Othams are trying to get out of range, but a lot of that base from Gumbo was taken out, and 1 more chicken to the west. Nomander has to deal with. There's also a couple of Ravagers in there as well to help assist in that defense. But this base is pretty much shot. Team 2 will scoop up whatever remains. ASF coming to try to assist. Spy planes over the top to act like ASF most likely, and then the actual ASF coming from behind. Good bait and switch there from Team 2's player of Delhi, but I don't think it'll be enough. Tabor Naples has a decent amount of ASFs, but he's not microing them as much as he should. The turns aren't great. There's a couple of lightning tanks in there, but it does look like Delhi will pull out ahead here in terms of ASF game, at least to the east. I don't think that's all the ASF. No, that's all the ASF. Huh. I'd like to be a lot more by now. But those tanks on the east side for Green Submarine will go down. They're targeting the AA. Good, sensible move there. And then, of course, dealing with the Othams after that. Nomander's still pushing this western side. There's crabs in defense. These Rascoms are going after something. They're just standing there. They're actually Rambo presets. They're not Rascoms. But the YOLO has finished for Nomander, and that first nuke launches. How does Team 2 respond to that? Do they have enough SMD? They have 2 here. They have 3 there. They have 1 there. So they have a decent amount of SMD. Not a lot, but they need to build more. A couple more back here as well. They're going for the Novaxes. There's The second one has finished up. A second nuke launches, counter nuke, regular nuke though. There's one more in the silo as well, and it will probably go after the YOLO. That would be my instinction. No, it'll drop short. Going for this base once again, and I don't know. I mean, there are a ton of anti-nukes loaded, but there is a force on the ground starting to push against that YOLO area. You know, once this is open, you know, it's just a straight shot to the YOLO. Another nuke from the YOLO gets launched. Kaboom! Takes out a couple of Rascoms or Rambos. They were support commanders nonetheless. Both the crabs fall. A couple more crabs are in tow. At least one is in tow here for Trith. The nuke will launch once again, going after the same location it did. Will target the comm of Delhi, at least nearby. Another nuke launches from the same place. Now what will it go after? It will go after the front line to the west, trying to just deal with any incoming threat over there. This push here from Green Submarine will start to fall back. I mean, there's only one crab. There's so much mass on this map. Speaking of which, how much mass is there currently? I just want to know. 623,000 mass. Over 500,000 mass at 42 minutes. That's a lot of mass, folks. That's a lot of mass. Another nuke gets launched from the YOLO. That one on to the west, of course, lands. There was no SMD to cover that area. Will this YOLO land? Let's see. We got one loaded there. One loaded there. So this one will not land. But the next one will land if there's not any SMD nearby, at least along the path. There's Rascoms blowing up, and I have that whole like, oh, did I miss something kind of thing? But it doesn't look like I missed anything, at least in terms of a player's death. ASF's trying to take out these broadswords. We'll probably clip one of them. Team 2 using a lot of gunships. Both teams using them to great effect. Team 1 bombers not going after this little fire base here. There's actually a decent amount of missiles. They're going after, maybe the comm was standing here somewhere. Duke is under construction here in the south for Team 2's play of Green Submarine. The, fourth nuke has launched. The Novexes are targeting the YOLO. They're actually going for the P-Gens, trying to reduce the amount of energy that Nomander has, but he has still a decent chunk of energy in reserve, so he will be fine. For now, they need to target more of those P-Gens. Let's see. This one will pass the first section of SMD. Will land on pretty much dead center of those two Novexes. Delhi's going to move. That was way too late, man. The comm of Delhi will blow up. I'm dead, says Delhi. Yep. That's the thing about the YOLO is you can see your incoming death. Kaboom! Takes out those Novexes. And we'll drop this game back to a 2v2. The fifth or sixth nuke will launch for Nomander. But man, this YOLO is making work. He's putting all his bets on this one play. That's kind of what you have to do sometimes in FAF, is you just kind of have to be like, well, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stick with it. And if I win, great. And if not, well, I try it. Kill this sub, says Artifacts. Well, I mean, you can try, but there's a bunch of defenses. You have, Rascoms, you have gunships, you have a crab, bricks being built all the time. The chickens are on approach, though. They might get close. There's another one back here. This should push forward, but another crab, it makes its appearance, will actually push against the other chicken, ensuring it doesn't push forward. And we'll just tank a lot of that damage. You can see it down. Look at that. All those hit points going down. ASF fight once again happening over top of these chickens, but another nuke launches. It does look like Nomander is starting to be enclosed on at least two of the three sides. Gunships need to be used heavily here. There's still two more crabs, actually three more crabs to the west. They can't hit the YOLO from this side. They have to come around. So at least Team 1 has that going for them. The crabs will move to intercept. The chickens are actually chasing the crabs now. ASF's over the top here for Triath, going after the gunships. At least that would be my target. This megalith will fall here fairly quickly, and then the next one will be the next target. They aren't really super healthy, so not really looking good for this western side of units. There's a bunch of Medusa on the way. This base gets annihilated by that YOLO. A couple of strat bombers are on the way. The comm of Trith is going to fall back. Of course, Green Submarine should be hiding somewhere as well. He's building his Duke. That's almost finished. It's actually in the green. Attack pings go down for that center SMD. It has 6 nukes loaded. Or 6 anti-nukes loaded. Maybe they'll launch the nuke. It still has it. Is it still there? It's still there, and they're building a Scathis. At least it started. There's 1 nuke loaded. Will they get the SMD? Yes, they do. And now, if they don't launch that other nuke, yep, there it goes. They're going to target the YOLO nuke. Will Nomander get 1 more nuke off? I think he will. Or maybe is this one close enough? It's in range. It is in range. If these Medusa don't take it out, that regular nuke will fall. Oh, this is going to be a tight game here for Team 1. Nomander trying to do his best. He will launch that nuke, so even if that one does blow up, which it won't, it will be fine. Nuke gets launched. It targets the missile. It starts to turn and goes, nope, not going to happen for you. But a bunch of megaliths and crabs have just given their lives to take out this YOLO. There's still a crab in defense. There's not a lot of defenses here for Nomander. They're starting to be whittled out quickly and fast. The nuke here for Team 2 needs to be dealt with here soon. That's their main play. The Scathis is not going to, at this rate, is not be built fast enough. But there's still SMD protecting Green Submarine's main base, but there's not a lot remaining. This one is empty. The missiles are actually targeting the silo as we speak. The YOLO is being used as point defense to take out this crab. Pull back your gunships. That's not going to look good. Strat bombers over the top try to target the YOLO. The YOLO does take damage. A lot of those engineers were taken out, but the nuke will land, take out a lot of this incoming force. All of those gunships will go down. There's no more defenses here. More gunships coming on approach. The crab is the only thing. Oh, and it's gone. Almost got out of the blast radius and then doesn't make it. The crab here for Nomander will fall. This chicken will die off. There's one chicken that might make it. There's one chicken. It's fallen into the red. Nomander, you got to turn around and deal with it. If it gets in close, that thing is dead and you are dead, and that is a victory for Team 2. Sub 7,000 hit points, sub 6,500. There's a couple of Utashalas built, and it will fall. Get those shields back up. You got to get them up quickly. Ooh, there's a Duke launching its artillery constantly at the YOLO. So that has been finished. The nuke will launch for Nomander. You need the shields taking out the mass fab in case it blows up. Okay, he spammed up a shield very quickly. That is good. Man, Team 1 trying to survive as best they can. That SMD still online. There's no anti-nukes loaded. This needs to be the next target. You're like hopping between taking out the nuke or taking out the Duke. I feel like the Duke is the bigger threat. Where'd that nuke go? Oh, it went for the nuke. Okay. Oh, it just barely clips it. Oh, all of these are constantly loading, and it barely clipped it. Artifact says done. Yeah, a bunch of chickens. They're done, but they need to walk over there. We have gunships. We have Rambocom advanced combatant presets. The shield coverage. Oh, I don't think it's enough. It's a very healthy chicken. Will Nomander get one more nuke off? Oh no, it won't launch. Nomander will die here. There he goes. That's gotta hurt. Was pretty close to another nuke. Nomander did not control K. That is a kill for Green Submarine. It doesn't count the AoE explosion of the YOLO. I have never built so much chicken. Actually, a crazy game, says Deli. Yeah, this game was really good. Team 1 was winning for a while. Team 2 started to claw back. Team 1 was winning again, and then Team 1 had the YOLO. They killed off a player. They killed a bunch of eco and infrastructure. It's like a Zerg rush. Yes, exactly. It's like a Zerg rush. Just a bunch of little units forcing their way through the front lines against the Terrans, pretty much. Oh, man, it's still not over. We still got one more player left for Team 2 to kill off, and that is Tapernaple back here The only thing he really has to worry about is a nuke and an artillery. It's only one. It's one Duke, and it's not even shielded. So, you know, if Team 1 had their own artillery, it'd be gone by now. But still spamming up SMD. The Scathis is now the priority. It's now in the yellow. Kill it, says Deli. Or kill the SMD that they're talking about. But shields are holding strong. A bunch of gunships. Look at all that firepower coming in from the sky. The SMD will fall. The nuke will launch and take out this facility here fairly quickly. But man, look at this. Just, there's not a lot here for Team 1, or at least Taper Naple left. He has 900 mass a second versus almost a little over double, about 2k mass here for Team 2. Please tell me you don't load them. I should have nuked your front, says No Matter, where there's 1 million SMD. Yeah, right here, all of them. Yeah, they're not going to break through that. And they really don't need to now since the YOLO is gone. The comm of Trith will push forward once again on his little transport that he has. But Strat Bomber's trying to delay the almost inevitable here. Look at that AA coverage. Even though it's flak, a lot of those hit points are already gone on that Revenant. And yeah, just because it's T2 does not mean it's not effective. Look at that incoming flak. They take out a Strat Bomber. Almost take out that third Strat Bomber. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. There are 2 Fat Boys on approach. It is pretty much UEF. The Duke is making work here for Team 2, taking out a huge section of that air grid, reducing the amount of gunships going to be coming off that front line. AC says No Mander. Artie says No Mander. Yeah, well, to be fair, those should have been targeted by something, whether that be missiles or something. That would have helped at least in some of the defenses and keeping the air grid online. This chicken push might be enough. There are 3 Fat Boys, though, so a lot of incoming artillery. The chicken trying to dodge while his other 2 push forward. They still have ASF, spam spy planes to find cloak comm. Yeah, well, once that nuke launches and takes out that other base, which it has just finished, so the nuke should be built, or should be launched immediately. Gunships going after the comm of Green Submarine. The shields go down around him. They're trying to spam up shields. Another one gets spammed up. Oh, it's going to be close. Green Submarine, you are under threat. There he goes. It's now going to be a 1v1. Taper Naples says, I will not go quietly into the night. First chicken falls here to the east. The second chicken is in the red. The third chicken is almost about to kill off that Fat Boy. And Taper Naple is still alive. There's that nuke I was talking about earlier. This position will fall like I knew it would once the SMD was gone. And now it's just the 2 main bases in the backline here for Taper Naple to use to his advantage. Now we have T1 artillery versus T1 artillery with assisting bricks and other units. Man, this is definitely like a Zerg game over here happening to the west. Just a bunch of small units rushing the front line. Even to the east, there's a bunch of mech marines. This is interesting. Couple more chickens still pushing that eastern side. There's a bunch of Ravagers. That's a Ravager battery. Wow. That's why the chickens are going to the east, because they want to avoid that. This one will fall fairly quickly. And this chicken going after mass, I feel like that's a good target to go after, considering the fact that, well, there's not really a lot of mass for Taper Naple to have. That kill on Green Submarine was really good, though. He was under protection, but not enough protection. The comm of Trith is in his main base. Wants to be protected as much as he can be. More SAM sites, more shields would be my recommendation there. But unless Taper Naple just somehow has 30 nukes in his pocket somewhere, I don't think he's going to crack that position. Going after the SMD, that's the only one left. Oh, it's not even being focused. Okay, it was. They were just using the AoE explosions. Oh, that's the last SMD to protect this eastern base. That chicken will fall. Is the nuke loaded? Is the Scathis done? The Scathis is done. It's firing. Oh, and there it goes. There goes the artillery. Where is it going? Oh, it's going to the east. It's going for this base. Oh. Why? It's not... No, it's not worth it. Yeah, shield up, says Deli. Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. West side still being pushed. The calm of Tabor and April trying to get out of there. There's an SMD not under shield coverage, really. Ping's going down. Warning saying, hey, you got to move your fat boys. Just all of the Medusa in the world. How many Medusa are on the field? 100. I say those are Lobos. 175. 143. Sorry, 43. Lots of T1 already just thrown at the enemy. The crab still has so many hit points. It will take out the rest of this air grid and probably take out the SMD, which it should be targeting. Nope. Right now. Nope. Okay, if this SMD is still online, it has 7 anti-nukes loaded. What? Why? What? It's not gone. It's still there. You are still alive. How are you still alive? How? Nice target, says Deli. Yeah, well, definitely didn't. Why? Yeah, it's going after. Is it still going after that? Okay, now it's not. I was like, is it still going after that East State? Bruh. I'm lagging. Well, I mean, it's 0-0, so not that bad. But does look like Taper and April control case says, you know, not really worth it anymore. 300,000 units. GG, says everyone. That was a very good game. A lot of back and forth, comebacks. People die out of nowhere with like a gunship rush. So even though Taper and April was on the back foot, he still got a kill before he died. I'd say good on him. It was almost an epic, just under an hour. Lots of mass, lots of experimentals thrown at one another, a bunch of crabs and chickens, of course. We saw 2 of the 4 game enders and a nuke launcher. We saw Novaxes. A whole bunch of stuff happened in this game. Thank you so much for everybody who made it to the end of the video. I appreciate every single one of you. It shows that you care enough about my videos to watch to the end and hear my little ramblings at the end. But thank you so much. I will see every single one of you in the next video that gets published on the channel, which will probably be today later on for my Star Wars content. But again, thank you so much. Please check out the playlist, of course, of all of my previous casts. And I will see all of you, and I mean all of you, in the next one.